Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to Telling Tall Tales the Right Way. This is part 2 of my conversation with the amazing Cindy Rodriguez Constable about the character of Alex Levy on the morning show on Apple TV. I hope that you tune in and that you love it. Okay, on the world, right? Like we don't have any of that.
I mean, and if I think about some of the other characters and how much, like I said, we've gotten background on Corey, we got some background on Mitch, we have a lot of background on Bradley. Stella, we have background on Stella. We know like how she came to be in the position she's in, everything that went on with her and Paul Marks, the previous company in season 2. And so we have a lot of background on her. In season 3, we get a lot more background on Celine Dumont, who's the chief president of the board, chief of the board, whatever the top position on the board is. We get background on Mia. We get background on Charlie. We just get background on a lot of characters, and some of those characters are supporting, but like the main character,
right? She's the star of the
damn show. We don't know how she ended up marrying her husband that she got divorced from. We know nothing about her prior to being the star of the morning show.
We don't even know anything about how, right. We don't even know how did she get to be the anchor of the morning show?
Right.
Where did she start her career? Where is she even from? Did she grow up in New York City or did she move? Like, we don't know any of these things. These are very basic things we should know about the main character.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. We have much more background on lots of the other supporting characters than we do her.
It's very
it's just it's frustrating, and it makes it hard to be endeared to her.
Yeah.
Because you see her do the same thing, fall apart, cry publicly, get rehired, repeat.
Yep. And I think
every scandal.
Yep, you're right. And that is a nice segue into how the writers continue to bring us along on this like myth of redemption, right? So season 1 closes with this Alex taking over the morning show and coming clean about what Mitch has done. Of course, not her role in it, but just that he's done these things. Season 2 then opens months after the season 1 finale and the live reveal of Mitch's behavior. So we're like, I don't know, 9 months after that, something like that. Like it's not like a couple of months. Like it's a long time. And Alex has all but like disappeared, right? And she's claiming she's burned out and she's disillusioned, right? But I'd also like to point out this is also really lazy writing. Like, why didn't we get to see those months unfold? Okay, so now this one I did go look up because I was like, am I the only one who's like, what the hell happened? So I go and look something up, and I forget what website it was on, but the writer was saying that given the timeline of the morning show, so we're basically in like 2019, like early 2019, let's just say, maybe ish, when the first season takes place. And then now we're like 9 months later. So now we're at like the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. So now we're heading into the pandemic. And so this writer that the article I read thinks that they just really felt like the pandemic was the perfect like recipe for more dramatic storytelling.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess that makes for better TV, but does that really serve the characters? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, obviously not. We're over here asking all these questions. We have questions.
We do have questions. But but they're making it, the writers want the audience to accept that Alex needed to get away to take a self-care break, right? That's what they feel like.
Which, I mean, and she didn't heal. She just hibernated. And she was hide now because she came back the same way.
Yeah.
Like, in Maine, no
chopping wood. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
even when, she goes to see Mitch and all this stuff, and, even in Mitch's death, she makes it about her.
Yes, 100%. And
even, like, his death was about her grief. It was just like, oh my God.
She to me, is kind of a classic narcissist where she wants credit for everything and responsibility for nothing.
For nothing. Mm-hmm.
Right. And so
Yep.
she leaves these messes, right? So she does this big bomb on the morning show where she's like, Mitch Kessler, you know, has been accused and this woman died and blah, blah, blah. And then she just leaves this destruction in her wake for everybody else to clean up. Right. And I don't know. I feel like, well, I said it in my notes. I'm just going to read what I wrote. She is the walking, talking model for selective accountability. She only reemerges when her image needs rehabilitation.
Yep. And how they rebuilt her in season 2, they gave her COVID. And she live streamed her COVID. And she was very sick. She got very ill with her COVID. And, you know, Chip, God love him, over there trying to take care of her.
Is he a masochist?
It was like,
I'm curious. He is a masochist.
He went back to her so many times. I mean, eventually, season 3, we see more redemption of Chip, and he kind of realizes, like, I'm not doing this anymore. He and she tries to get him back, and he's like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm done with you, and I'm done with all of your mess, and you're crazy. He gives her a whole what for. But
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
For me, in season 2, they tried to use illness as absolution, like, because she got 100%. COVID, and you know, she almost died, and she live streams the whole thing because she needs to redeem her character, right? And what better way? I mean, we see these play out in lots of scenarios, not just this TV show, where you make something tragic happen to the character, and then everybody's, oh, you know, all is forgiven, and you know, we're back at it.
Or this is what I love, how they're trying to do it, right? Not just illness as absolution, but how she learns.
Yeah.
She's learning to appreciate life, all the things she took for granted, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But before she flies to Italy to go see Mitch, which is another part of this whole ridiculous nonsense that the writers want us to fall for, she comes back to the morning show, and she's still not nice. She's still not nice to Bradley. Like, Bradley's numbers are not great with their, like, ratings. You know, television shows are all about ratings. Yeah. So her ratings aren't great. So they're like, bring back Alex. So she comes back, and she's still mean to Bradley. Mm-hmm. And anyway. And she sees her more as a rival. And then this just popped into my head. She even blackmails her.
Yeah.
When they go to the restaurant,
the whole thing with her brother. Yeah.
Anyway, so how Alex ends up in Italy is the dumbest. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Okay, so we find out that Mitch has retreated to Italy. His wife is divorcing him. His wife and his sons live somewhere else. He's retreated to Italy so that he can, you know, be away from the public eye and whatever. Alex and Bradley have gone to Vegas, where the Republican debate of 2020 is taking place. So that was in like February of 2020.
Yeah.
Right. We should mention okay. So there's a reporter, New York Times reporter, who is she like I don't know, is she write about the news? Like, I'm not really sure like what her beat is. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyway, she writes this book in which Alex knows she's going to come off looking really, really terrible, right? Yes. Alex sees this New York Times reporter / author in Vegas, freaks out for no reason, goes to the writer's room, is like, what did you write about? Blah, blah, blah. Now she's like super paranoid again, all about her ego, not thinking about anyone else. And she leaves for Italy, just takes off and doesn't tell anybody where she is. Doesn't tell anybody. Oh, no, I'm sorry. One person knew. Her assistant knew, right? Her assistant. Yeah. Her assistant knew. Goes to Italy. And then for some reason, goes to see Mitch because she feels like he's the only one who can redeem her. What?
I was like, how you blew Mitch up on live TV. He's a pariah. And you knew, and you don't want anybody to know that. And now you're over here seeing him like, she's just like, but he's one of my oldest friends and blah, blah, blah. And,
yeah, and I'm thinking, if he's your oldest, who's your best friend? What? But she wants him to give her a statement saying that they never slept together, even though they had. Yeah. Even though it was only twice.
Yeah.
That they slept together twice. And so she wants him to do the statement. He's like, no, I'm not going to lie. I'm not that person anymore. Then he gives her the statement. He dies in a car accident, right? Mm-hmm. And even then, like you said, she centers herself. Now it's suddenly Mitch's death is all about her?
Yeah. It's crazy town.
They want us to empathize with her grief, but like, I feel like the writers really could have put her on a redemption arc.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, they just chose not to.
Like, she could have actually learned something from some of these very traumatic things that have transpired. But she doesn't seem to learn. Ever. She just figures out, how can I polish my image even further? How can I distance myself from this thing that I'm very much involved in and I knew all about? How can I distance myself enough to gain public sympathy again and keep my seat on the show?
Yeah, and but it really seems like she doesn't even like her job.
No.
Like, she doesn't even really like her job. What I think is that she's addicted to the attention.
Yeah. Well, she's been in the limelight for,
right,
decades.
It's giving very diva-like behavior.
Yeah.
But you're right. She never learns. She just comes back as the same person over and over and over again. That hamster wheel, right?
Yep.
There's a problem. I need to, how can I make this work in my best interest? I need to protect my image. Oh shit, my image is going. Let me blow some shit up so it takes away from what's actually happening.
Yeah.
Right? Like, she just only always feels sorry for herself, no matter the situation. Like Bradley, wait, was this the end of season 2? Maybe I am into season 3. Damn, I really should look that up. I'm not going to do it now. But, the network gets hacked, and Bradley sent her girlfriend what we're meant to assume is kind of like a provocative video.
Yeah.
And Bradley goes to Alex because at this point now there is some friendship there. And she goes to her for help, and Alex is like, I can't deal with this. And Bradley's like, no, it's really important. I got to tell you what happened. And Alex says, oh, did you, have sex with a predator? And that shuts Bradley down immediately. And she realizes she can't be there for me.
Yeah.
And then Alex goes to Bradley's house with a bottle of wine or whatever. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I just, whatever, I'm here for you. How can we do this? And so I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop on that one, which I'm sure is coming.
Yeah. And in season 3, they mentioned that breach again, because I guess all I'm assuming is not everything came out in season 2 that was in breach.
They don't mention it again?
That they do, but not as a reveal. Like, so they haven't revealed anything additional so far. Anyway. I mean, season 3
okay.
So far.
Okay. Well, that's, I guess, helpful. I don't know. They bring up these really big, potentially juicy storylines that could give multiple people things to do. And then I feel like the writers just...
there's huge new storylines in season 3.
Okay. Well, do they follow them? Like, do they give them any type of treatment and fidelity? Like...
Well, like we're, Stella's running the running the network now.
Yeah.
And there's a new board, and Corey somehow works his way back in.
Hmm.
But it's because he's blackmailing Stella. So they're all still doing the same things. And Alex is still, trying to figure out how she can gain more power, at the network. So they're still exhibiting some of the same behaviors, like Mia finally leaves. And then Alex does this
Wait, Mia
terrible. Yeah,
Mia
leaves.
Oh, good. Mia's one of my favorite characters.
They were supposed to promote her when they became an all-girl network. They were gonna, promote her to the head of the news division or whatever, and they don't. And it's been 2 years now. We start 2 years later, so they skipped not just 9 months, 2 whole years later of them running the network as an all-girl show.
Okay.
And there's all these you start to unfold all of these promises that that Alex and Stella made to everyone that aren't coming to fruition. So
interesting.
So Mia ends up leaving because she's like, you promised me that I'd have news, and they hire some guy instead for the position, and she walks. And she's very upfront with why. She's like, I've given literally my life to this place, and I'm not waiting anymore.
Yeah.
And Alex is like, oh, it'll be fine. Just give him 6 months. He'll flame out, and then you'll get the position. She's like, no, I'm done being overlooked, Sheila. And so,
okay.
But in the meantime, Mia gets this really great opportunity at an up and coming all women's Black network.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they want to hire her to be like the bee's knees over there.
Okay.
Alex sabotages it. She calls over there, she tells them something, and they don't hire me. And Alex is like, and so Mia flips her shit. She just comes over to Alex's face and she's like, how could you do this? And she's like, I did it for you because I want you back.
Oh my, see, again, self-serving. It's all about Alex and not about anybody else in the world.
She's like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to work for you. This was the role I've always wanted. And it was with them. And you took it from me because it's not what you want for me to do. So that's what I'm saying. Alex has not redeemed herself in any way, shape, or form.
No.
And Bradley ends up back on the show. And she's, finagling behind Bradley's back the whole time.
Okay, so it's just more of the same is what we have.
Yes, it's more of the same for Alex.
Great. So, okay, so this is one of the things I was thinking about is there have been other female leads who would be considered unlikable. And when I did a Google search, just who are other female leads on TV who are considered unlikable? It gave me Olivia Pope. I was like, I love her. What are you talking about?
I love Olivia Pope.
I love Olivia Pope. So clearly, I was like, Google, you don't know what you're talking about. But then I started to think about just not even female characters, right? But just other unlikable leads who we were, I guess, tricked into thinking that they were somehow a better person than they were. And I think for me, because Jennifer Aniston was on Friends, I'm thinking about Ross Geller, who her character Rachel ends up with at the end. He was not a hero. He was the villain. He had many of the same characteristics that Alex has, right? He only thought about himself. He only thought about Rachel in his life as it pertained to how it helped him or his feelings, never about her or what she wanted or anything like that. That was another gaslighting situation, right? So that we were, the writers and the marketing behind it wanted us to believe that what we were seeing was not what we were seeing.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was just like, there are other unlikable leads that happen. And, but and I'm okay with an unlikable lead. I truly am, as long as we're not expected to think that they're other than who they are.
Other than who they are,
you know, and that's my problem with the writers on the morning show, is that they want us to believe that Alex is this just this flawed person muddling her way through life. No.
She's manipulating her way through life.
She's a horrible person, and she never learns. She never grows. For me, it's the laziest writing of a character.
Yeah.
It is,
but like you said, unless the whole point is to mirror something in our culture that basically says like visibility is virtue or contrition, you know.
Well, we know attention is the new currency, right? So
yeah, you muddle some half-baked apology and it's okay.
Yeah. So this is a question I wanted for us to consider. And we're asking you too, audience. We're asking you, are we complicit in gaslighting ourselves when we mistake narcissism for empowerment? And I don't have an answer. I'm just saying, like, it's a question to consider, right? Because, you know, like, I don't feel like we're wrong to want to root for Alex, because, you know, I think it's human of us to be like, oh, come on, you can do this, be better, right? Like, I want us to be able to do that, but wanting to and should, different things, different things. I don't know. How many seasons do you think the show is going to go?
I don't know. I mean, overall, I like the show, right? It keeps you engaged. And there's so much going on. And I have to say, I wonder if that's really what it's like in the newsroom, all the things that go on behind the scenes that are so, you know, crazy town. I've not been in a news TV room, so I don't really know. But
well, I got a tour. I got a tour of our local 6 station. And so I'd never been in a TV station either. And so then they bring me and they're like, here's where we do the evening. So, and they're literally just like sections. So it's this whole big sound station. They do like, this is where we do the morning news. This is where we do this. And I was like, oh my God. Right. It was kind of a fangirl moment even.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I don't know. I just, cause I know like some shows have like, they're like, well, we always planned for this to be a 5-year show, or we planned for this to be whatever. And
I haven't seen anything on that. I mean, I guess it'll, you know, season 3, I think I'm gonna have 2 episodes left. So they'd have to pull off a yeoman's task to wrap up all the storylines in the next 2 episodes. So I'm assuming there'll be a season 4.
Okay.
At the very least.
Okay. Yeah, because like also on Apple was Invasion, which I was fascinated with. It was amazing.
I haven't watched it yet.
But they didn't get a 4th season. So like the last 2 episodes, all of a sudden it was like boop, 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 boop. They had to like, you know, like, okay, we got to solve this one. We got to wrap this up. We got to do this. We got to do this. Like, it was like boop, 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 boop. So because I was like whiplash. I'm like, what is happening? And then, of course, I had to go read about it, and they didn't get a 4th season. So, whatever. I was just wondering. Yeah. So, okay, let me ask you this, and then we're gonna sign off. But if you had to think of an ending, if you had to write the ending for the morning show, what would it be?
Oh my gosh!
I know this was not in the notes. I just threw this out here at you.
Gosh, I mean, especially now that I'm halfway through season 3 or 3/4 of the way through season 3, and they've introduced new story arcs.
Okay.
Like it's even more challenging.
Okay, well, let's say
my brain always wants
to get one more season. So you get one more season. Okay, so season 3 ends the way however it's going to end. You get one more season. How do you end the morning show?
I think for me, I like a closed loop, right? So I would have to tie up the loose ends, like you said, on the big storylines that seem to have just gone nowhere.
Okay.
That just big happened and went away. I'd like to see Alex actually learn something. I'd like to see Bradley like come out of her self-loathing and actually engage with people that are good for her, not bad for her. And I think the way the networks run, I think the whole thing needs to go belly up because it is a viper pit.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think for me, there'd be some big investigation by whoever investigates that kind of thing and airs it all out. And because some people need to go to jail because they've done some shady stuff at that network. So I'd want to clean up all of those arcs and have people actually suffer consequences for their actions.
Okay.
Because that feels like a fairy tale, because in real life we don't see a lot of people suffering consequences for their actions.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It's a good point.
I'd like to see some actual consequences, you know, for the actions, the things that you've committed. And, you know, if you're going to repent, actually repent.
Okay.
Not the image remaking kind of repentance.
No, I know, like real soul sucking, sobbing in a fetal position kind of repentance.
Yes.
Yes, I get that. Okay.
And then followed by changed behavior.
I mean, that would be amazing.
Yes.
All right. Well, this has been amazing discussion with you. I love talking to you. Like, I love talking to you. I wish that you were not so far away. But you live on the other side of the world now, and I am so happy that you made that move. So congratulations on that. But okay, so I'm going to say goodbye to Cindy. She's just going to go into our virtual green room. I don't know. It's a stupid word, but here we are. And we'll wrap it up. So, well, actually, we'll just wrap it up now. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Morning, evening, noon, whenever you see this. If you are watching the morning show, let us know in the comments, like, do you think we're on target with Alex? Who's your favorite character? Who do you hate? I had somebody post on my Facebook page that they feel like if they ever met Corey, the character Corey in real life, and shook his hand, they would have to disinfect their hand. Because he's so
I can see that. He's a slimy one.
He is a slimy one. He's a slimy one. So anyway, thank you, Cindy, for joining me. I appreciate you so much.
For having me once again.
All right.